hope that you are having a great day. I have a design team project for ASC Craft Supplies. I do have a coupon code, which is Michelle10 for 10% off any regular price purchases. And I will link both of their online stores in the description box below. I used Mintay's Chocolate Kiss paper collection for my projects, and I have created a calendar and a Slimline Card with box, and I also have a tutorial for these projects. And I have shared some of these little calendars before, and I needed another one, and I just love the Chocolate Kiss paper. I know it's a Valentine's Day paper, but I went ahead and used it anyways because I love the tiered tray, and it does have the little bunny in there. I'm thinking that it still works, and I've added my calendar, and then I've added some flowers from ASC as well, and these are the little sweetheart blossoms, and I think these are the rosebuds. So I just put a couple flowers there on the corners as I did on the other calendars I created. But the paper is just absolutely stunning. And then I've used the Michaels Rose Gold foil paper, which I think really coordinates with the browns in the paper. And on the back, I had this really pretty pink paper, so I chose to use it. I made a box for my Slimline card since it is decorated with the flowers. And once again, I was inspired by the easel cards that Mommy and Me Crafts had created. I was going to put some more flowers and things on the outside, but I thought the ribbon just looked great with the card underneath because it's decorated. But I used that paper once again that I used on the back of the card that I thought coordinated really well. Just take the lid off the box, and you can see here I just wrapped the ribbon on the inside. I put the score tape on the seam binding and then just wrapped it around the corners is how I did that. And here we have the bottom of the box. And here's our easel card. But I love the paper. I use the 6x8 add-on pack for the decorative papers in the background. And then I use the 6x6 here in the front. I use the KS Craft die, ruffle die for that. I love how it has a little lace edge detail. And then I have added flowers from the shop. I think these are apple blossoms, multi-tone roses, and I think these are buttercups. And then I add some of the little berries in the little tucked in there. And then I did fussy cut one of the cupcakes and pop dotted it. And I think there was a cupcake underneath of it, so I just pop dotted one above it just to add some dimension on the seam. And I had created these items a while ago, and I'm just now sharing them. This inside says Happy Galentine's Day. And I never do sign my cards, that way the recipient can use them over. And then I did leave the back plain since it had this really pretty shimmer paper. So if you stay tuned, I do have a tutorial. For the calendar base, we are going to need a piece of cardstock that is 6.5 by 11 inches. And I went ahead and pre-scored and burnished my score marks. So the first place we are going to score is going to be 1 3/4, then 3.5, and 7 and 10.5. And like I said, I've already burnished these, and you're going to have a valley, a mountain, and then it's going to fold over to form a mountain. So this is what we are going for, will be right here. So it will look like this. Set that to the side for a second. And for the mat, for the calendar, this is 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. And I did do a mat layer, and you'll need 2 of these, one for the front and one for the back. They are 3 1/4 by 6 1/4. And the decorative paper is 3 by 6. And Rebecca Tate, a fellow design team member, she did the calendar where it was the full width, the 8.5 wide, but I wanted to use my 6x6 paper pads. We have our base piece here, and I'm going to go ahead and just glue the decorative paper to the mats like so, and I'm going to glue this to the foil. We'll bring this back in, and I'm going to turn mine like this. So this will be my front, and this will be my back. I like putting the seam in the back, but I am going to go ahead and glue our decorative papers on the front. Put this one here at the top. On this one, since my design is over on the right, I'm going to put my calendar here on the left. So you can put your calendar anywhere you want, depending on the design paper that you use. And we're going to fold our calendar, the two large pieces just folded in half, and then bring this up, and I will put glue on this seam, and I'm just going to fold it up like so. I put this on the inside, but you could put it on the outside, but I just like it on the inside where you can't see the seam, or the flap, I should say. And that's what it looks like. So super simple project, and I love them. Giving out a lot of these, and I always feel like I get good feedback. Crystal does still have the calendar bases, or the calendars. You just need to contact the shop. She is not able to list them on the site, but just contact her through Etsy or on the main store website. That is the calendar. And for the card, like I said, I saw Mommy and me make a larger Slimline card, so I used the base measurement that she gave out, and the base measurement is 7 by 8.5, and then I just scored it at 3.5 and folded it over. For the base, I used a piece of foil cardstock that measures 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. Then for the pink decorative paper that is under the hearts, it measures 3 by 8 inches. The brown polka dotted paper measures 2.5 by 8 inches. The pink paper with the cupcakes and cookies, it measures 2 1/4 by 6 inches. And I did use the 6 by 8 paper pad for the larger pieces. I almost forgot about this piece, and then the inside piece is 3 by 8. Okay, and now we can do the inside sentiment. And the sentiment, I believe I got from the Silhouette Design Store, so I loved it. This is the card, and now we will work on the box. So I have a piece of acetate that measures 3.5 by 8.5. I'll lay it to the side and try not to lose it. And the bottom of the box is 5 5/8 by 10 5/8, and I scored it 1 inch all the way around. And for the top, it is 5 11/16 by 10 11/16. Then I have scored it 1 inch all the way around. And what I did here, these little marks are, I went in from each side on each corner and measured at 1.5 inches and just drew a little line. And then I came along the bottom and did 1.5 inches here, then flipped it around and did little marks of 1.5 inches. So that just helps me cut a window in this. So it just helps me line everything up, and I don't have to worry so much about messing up. And I'm going to turn my trimmer here so I can see a little bit better on my lines. Okay, and I think that's it. And then I'm going to turn it this way. Whoops. I can't get a hold of it. We'll turn it like this again and line it up. Get my head in here. And I'm just cutting, making sure I hold this against the edge so it's nice and straight. And we'll do this one where it's a little bit longer. It's hard to see where it is. I think right there. We'll try it and see. I could always take some scissors and cut it out. And then we'll turn it and do the last one. see. Yep, that looks pretty good to me. So we have our window cut out. But let's go ahead and erase these marks. I forgot to put score tape on my acetate. So I'm just going to use 1/4 inch score tape. And put that on the outside edge here. I'm just going to put this back to the side because I don't want to fingerprint it any more than what it already is. For the decorative pieces, for the lid of our box, I have 2 pieces that measure 3/8 by 9, and I cut them a little bit longer so I can miter the corners. And then I have 2 pieces that are 3/8 inches by 3.5. And for the side, I have 2 that are 7/8 inches by 8.5, and 2 that are 7/8 inches by 3.5. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue the bottom piece and the top piece. I'm just going to center it like so. I like a little pink border. You could probably do a little bit wider if you wanted. Is glue this middle piece down. I just put a little bit of glue in the middle for now. And I want to line it up on the corner and center it down through there. And it's lined up, so I guess I could have cut it at 8.5 and it would have been okay to miter. I just wasn't sure. I haven't done this in a long time. So I'm just going to take my scissors and line that up. And I actually need to cut just a little bit more off. There we go. And then take your scissors, and I'm going to hold them at the corner and then angle where they would meet, and then that gives us our miter. And this is what is the easiest way for me to do it. We'll do this side and see how it's matched up. I'm just going to get my scissors here with that corner, and then I'm going to line up where they intersect and just go like that. So that is our mitered corners. Then I'm going to glue our decorative pieces on the outside of our edge of our box. I'm going to set this to the side and let it dry a little bit, and I'm going to bring me a little pair of scissors, and we're going to cut in the middle of the score line up into where the points intersect. So I've got that side. We're just making our tabs. And forgot to burnish my score marks. Fold this up, and I'm going to put glue on the tabs. I'm just going to go like this and line that corner up like so. Just give it a burnish as well. And now we'll do the tabs on this side. Just folding that over, lining it up along the straight edge, along the edge of the top. I guess it would be the top of the box, or the bottom. Okay, and we'll do the last tab. We'll set the bottom to the side, and we're going to cut on our score line on the top. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is bring this over and just do a dry fit and make sure it is going to cover nicely. and it does. So I'm just going to leave that wrapped around. That way we know we won't get the lid too tight for the bottom. So I'm just pushing it along. Some glue on our tab, like so. Whoops, that other one popped up. So we'll just fold it over. Okay, and then we'll flip it over, and we're going to do the other 2 tabs. We can bring in our acetate and put it on the inside. Now our card goes in like that, and you have room to decorate. But I think it makes a great presentation. I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial, and I always love to hear your feedback, so please leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.